Today, I want to share with you the Buddhist way of life. It's a visual representation of the cycle of rebirth as told by Shakyamuni Buddha, as known as the wheel of samsara. It's a central concept in Buddhism. Each living being, after death, does not reach a true end. Instead, based on the karma, positive or negative, created in previous lives, they are reborn into one of the six realms and continue the journey of life. This cycle is what Buddhism calls samsara, the endless round of birth and death. This wheel of life was used by the Buddha as a powerful teaching tool to help beings understand the process of birth, death, and rebirth, driven by cause and effect. As you can see in the picture, the wheel is circular and gripped tightly by a fierce figure, Yama, the Lord of Death, who also bites the outer rim of the wheel. This symbolizes that no being can escape the mouth of death, and as long as one remains in samsara, one is inevitably bound by the 12 links of dependent organization. In the upper right corner, the Buddha is depicted pointing at the moon, symbolizing that only the Dharma, which is the teachings of the Buddha, can lead to true light, peace, and liberation from suffering. In the upper left corner, a Bodhisattva is shown, radiating compassion and wisdom, offering boundless hope to sentient beings. At the center of the wheel are three animals chasing each other's tails: a pig, symbolizing ignorance, the inability to see the truth; a rooster, representing desire, constantly flapping its wings, chasing after food and pleasures, endless craving; a snake, symbolizing hatred born from desire and ego, reacting with anger and hostility toward anything that goes against one's will. In Buddhism, ignorance, desire, and hatred are called three poisons, and they are the root cause of our continual rebirth. They are not separate from each other. Both the rooster and snake emerge from the pig's mouth, indicating that all afflictions originate from ignorance. Surrounding the three poisons is the second ring, representing the bardo, which is the intermediate state between death and the next rebirth. This ring is divided into two halves. The dark half shows beings being dragged downward into the three lower realms: animals, hungry ghosts, and hell. The light half shows beings ascending into the three higher realms: humans, gods, and asuras. A thin white line can be seen leading outward toward the Pure Land, symbolizing that diligent practice may allow one to transcend samsara and be reborn into a Buddha realm. Now let's go to the third ring. This ring is divided into 6 sections, each representing one of the 6 realms of rebirth. On the top of the wheel, we can see the God realm. It's a blissful, radiant world filled with light and music. On the top right, we can see Asura realm. Although similar to the God realm in power and luxury, Asuras are fierce, proud, and prone to jealousy and conflict. A key symbol here is the Vision tree. Its trunk grows in the Asura realm, but the fruits bloom in the God realm. Gods eat the fruits, while Asuras look on in envy. Asuras try to cut the tree, but the gods sprinkle nectar, healing it. Asuras also frequently fight the gods over women and power. They often lose, making their realm full of suffering despite their power. Human realms is on the left side. It's a mix of joy and suffering, showing people working, living, and aging. This is considered the most precious realm for spiritual practice. Humans have intelligence, yet they experience pain, making them uniquely suited for awakening. On the bottom right, it's animal realm. It's full of beings from air, land, and water: mammals, birds, fish, etc. Animals are bound by ignorance, lacking the wisdom to understand Dharma, and often live under constant threat, slavery, and slaughter. On the bottom left, we can see the hungry ghost realm. It's a barren, desolate place where the beings are trapped in endless suffering. These creatures have thin necks and limbs, but their bellies are huge and swollen. Some even breathe fire. Their appearance both pitiful and terrifying. There are 3 main types of hungry ghosts: The first type is hungry ghosts blocked by external obstacles. These ghosts are constantly hindered by their environment. In broad daylight, the warm sun feels freezing to them. At night, the gentle moonlight burns like fire. Their stomachs are enormous, and the hunger they feel is unbearable, but they can hardly ever find anything to eat. Their heads and bellies are huge, while their legs are so thin. These ghosts spent years desperately wandering in search of food and drink, but their efforts are in vain. Their suffering is endless. They can't find even a moment of warmth, satisfaction, or rest. The second type is hungry ghosts blocked from within. These ghosts have massive bodies like mountains, but again, their legs are thin and fragile. They can barely move. They constantly breathe fire, and their throats are as narrow as a needle's eye. No matter how hungry or thirsty they are, nothing can pass through. The third type is hungry ghosts blocked by food itself. These poor souls suffer a cruel fate. Whenever they see food, it instantly turns to fire. Rivers dry up the moment they approach to drink. Some are left with no choice but to eat filth or even bite into their own flesh to ease their hunger. In the painting, you can see one of these ghosts trying to eat, but the food bursts into flames as it enters their mouth. Meanwhile, in the upper right corner, a Buddha is offering food, trying to ease their suffering with compassion. On the bottom center is the hell realm. It's the most terrifying realm, filled with endless torments, and sufferings are intense. It's divided into 8 hot hells, 8 cold hells, neighboring hells, and solitary hills. The outermost ring, which is the fourth ring, shows the 12 links of dependent organization that explain beings fall into the cycle of rebirth. It starts with ignorance, a blind man walking with a stick, representing spiritual blindness, unaware of truth or karma. Volitional formations, a potter shaping clay, symbolizing karma formed through actions influenced by ignorance. Consciousness, a monkey leaping between trees, illustrating the restless, wandering mind seeking a place to be reborn. Name and form, people in a boat crossing a river. Form, which is the boat, and name, which is the mental components, combine to enter the womb. 6 sense spaces, an empty house with 6 windows, representing the completion of the 6th sense, which is eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, and mind, ready to contact. Contact, when the sense organs meet objects and the consciousness arises, depicted as lovers embracing. Feeling, this part is all about how we feel when we come into contact with the world, whether something feels pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral. It's symbolized by someone getting shot in the eye with an arrow, intense and immediate. Craving, a person indulging in alcohol and food. Though seeking pleasure, they only suffer more. Like an addict, craving increases suffering. Desire works the same way. The more we chase it, the deeper we sink. There's no end to it, and that's where the suffering begins. Cleaning. Now, craving leads to cleaning. This is shown as someone reaching up to pick fruits from a tree. The more we want something, the more we try to grab hold of it. That's what cleaning is, holding on tightly to what we think will make us happy. The tree and its fruits represent the results of our past actions, our karma, and the act of picking shows accumulation. Becoming a pregnant woman, karmic energy crystallizes into existence, leading to another rebirth. Birth. A woman giving birth, symbolizing the start of a new life. Old age and death. A man carrying a corpse. Where there is birth, there will be death. The 12 links loop endlessly, sustaining the wheel of rebirth. This is a full interpretation of the wheel of life in Buddhism. According to Buddhism, humans and all beings don't just live once. They have past lives and future rebirth, moving through samsara lifetime after lifetime. What we encounter in this life is the result of past actions, and what we do now shapes the future. To escape samsara, one must eliminate its causes, which are the three poisons: ignorance, desire, and hatred. By cultivating wisdom, virtue, and mindfulness, one can cut the roots of rebirth and suffering. Though samsara is bitter, the path to liberation exists, and the wheel of life, as shown by the Buddha, is the gateway to that path.